Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zombies Love Bacon podcast. This is episode 2, the second episode. We don't include the pilot episode because looking back on that, it needed work. We don't talk about it. So this is episode 2. I hope you enjoyed episode 1, and I hope you've been following and subscribing and finding this podcast wherever you find it and following it. More importantly, because we're going to do a lot of it. I'm here. I'm Aladi, and I'm also joined by Shelby, who's returning.
As per usual, I am here. I don't leave.
Jelly, who's back.
Yeah, hello. I don't leave either.
She didn't even say hello with a question mark. It's crazy.
Oh,
and
hello! No, with a question mark, like, hello?
Also joining us today, for the first time, the amphibian known as Frog.
Hello?
That's it. He nailed it. He fucking nailed it.
That's a good way to introduce. So
that's it. Perfect. All right. That was perfect. Thanks for listening, everyone. That's the podcast. No, I'm joking. Just so everyone knows as well, this podcast goes live every Monday, but we record this on a Friday night, and there's a reason for that. And I've been known to say this many times. I nearly said it's an aphrodisiac, but I was going to say it's the highest energy, the best Red Bull that you can get is at the point of the longest distance between starting work again. So as soon as you finish work, when it's the longest period of time before you have to go back to work again, that's when you are the most high energy. And that is the moment that we record this podcast, and we're all having a couple of drinks as well.
Aphrodisiac?
Yeah, I mean, it really does show that it was an aphrodisiac, seeing is that I listened to the last podcast in the shower. I spent probably about 20 minutes of it listening to all your lovely voices butt naked in the shower. Just thought I'd point that out just off the bat.
Now, when we're talking about in the shower, we're talking Bluetooth speaker or can you give some
Bluetooth
details?
Speaker. I've got a full Google set up around my house.
Oh, really?
So
do you go, hey Google, meet me in the shower?
Meet me in the shower, and then it just brings your voices all the way into the shower. It's great. It's wild.
Oh God, my Google talks. No, stop. I apologize for people. I didn't even think about it. That's my bad.
I'm still trying to get my Google to work properly.
I mean, I reckon my Google's like a bit of a rebel. Barely listens to me.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but we've myself and my girlfriend, we've actually accumulated a bunch of Googles just from various different things. There was work parties and stuff where Christmas parties, and that everyone just has given away
a free
Googles,
Google?
and we haven't paid a single cent for any of our Googles, but we own 5 of them.
Those little Googles, they get given out like candy. The amount of them that I've also picked up for super cheap off of Facebook.
I was going to say, I see them on trading posts all the time. They must just give this shit away.
I gave you a free Google.
Yes.
Yeah. I gave my mother a free Google, but I gave her one of the ones with the screen on it, which is infinitely better. I don't want to bring it down, but I kind of got a Google because I had no one to talk to because I live alone.
Wow.
So
wow.
Google loves me.
That's very anti-aphrodisiac.
That's the saddest shit I've done all day. Okay, that brings us to our first topic. What do you do when you're sad? No, I'm kidding.
Hey Google, do you love me? Oh, she doesn't.
I don't know. We're waiting for a response, but I'm not going to get it. I only remember when Jelly yelled at Google, then you called it a bitch, and Google's like, no. Okay, future podcasts we'll bring Google in. All right, sit it up with a microphone and can do that. So how's everyone's week been, by the way? Shut your Google up.
I think last week. Oh my God.
Shut up, Google. No one likes you.
Oh!
She was going to say, back at you. Anyway, I think last week we mentioned that we were talking about work from home and starting to work from home. This week, I can say that I started working from home on Monday, and it's something else.
It's crazy.
It's not so much the being at home, but it's more the what I'm doing that is the problem. I am now everybody's least liked person. I am a telefundraiser, so I call you and ask you for money. And
it's could be worse. You could be a telemarketer / what are they the people that come looking for money? They ring you up and say, "Hey, that phone bill you didn't pay."
Yeah, I feel like it's collectors, telemarketers, and telefundraisers is the bottom level of the tier of phone calls. So I'm not last, but people still don't want to talk to me.
So the only people that are worse than you, no offense, are the people that knock on your door.
Yes.
And literally, and I'll tell you a little story. All right. So I came home from work, and my partner at the time had a strange man in the building, which is always a red flag to begin with. But the man was giving her a DVD player for signing up to some energy company stuff, and I'm like, when I got home, I'm like, can I see you in the next room? And then she's like, oh, he's going to save us money on our electrical bill and we get a free DVD player. And I'm like, there's no legitimate electrical company that gives you a fucking DVD player. Like, where did the DVD player come from? So I come back out into the room and I'm like, hey, mate, deal's off, fuck off. And he's like, excuse me? I'm like, you heard me. Take your DVD player and fuck off out of my house. And this guy was just like so offended. And I just kicked him out of the house and slammed the door behind him. I'm like, well, don't let people into your house. But obviously he was very good at his job and managed to sweet talk my partner who to get into the house. And it's just like, I hate these people so much. And I mean, Shelby, you'll know from experiencing it now, but I'm gonna confess, I'm the guy that messes with the telemarketers when they call you.
Well, do you mess with a fundraiser though? It's a little different.
I don't hang around long enough to find out the difference.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't care about whether or not you're asking for like a fund for like starving kids in Somalia, or whether you're just simply trying to change my phone bill. If you're trying to pester me over the phone, no.
Here's a little tip for you though. If you get a call from a telefundraiser and instead of hanging up immediately or just being like, fuck you, hang up, that actually puts you back in the queue. What you should do is wait till we say your call may be recorded, blah, 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 and then go, I'm not interested. And then just say, I'm not interested like 3 times. It'll get you completely off the list.
So you go first. You go first. I
was just going to say, so I picked this up from my grandparents because I spent a lot of time there when I was a kid. My granddad used to always, whenever he'd get a phone call from like telemarketer or whoever, right, that wasn't just someone he knew or like was someone that was trying to sell him something, he would either do one of 2 things. He would either just say, oh yeah, I'll be right 2 seconds. I'm just going to grab my wallet, and he'd just leave the phone there. And he'd just leave the phone there, just going. And he would just leave it there. Or second option, and this is one that I do quite regularly. So hanging next to the phone, he had a whistle that he would have there sitting there. Right. And so whenever someone would call up, and this is really bad because this shit can damage your ears. As someone that's done audio engineering, I can confirm this would make someone go deaf in an ear for at least 5-10 minutes. He would blow a high-pitched whistle sound into the like earpiece of the phone, and it would like deafen who was ever on the other side. And he would just keep blowing. He would, like, they would be trying to talk to him, and it'd just be like this high-pitched whistle noise. And like, that's something I may or may not have done.
I get it. And one thing I want to say is how to avoid getting on these lists in the first place. If any quiz or like competition online mentions a charity even briefly and wants your phone number, you're going on a list. Just don't fill that stuff out. Don't do a quiz that tells you what kind of bird you are. That's literally what we're doing right now.
You get put on a list when you buy stuff online too, though.
No, you don't. Not for telefundraisers.
Someone signed my phone number up to something because, like, I don't sign up to
some
anything.
Companies are like they can sell your information, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. But so I used to have. I went on the bender of I'm going to enter every competition because no one ever does, and surely I'll win. So I just got a prepaid phone and used that phone to sign up to everything. And only ever waited for it. Yeah, but so I used to get a lot of phone calls because my number was publicly on the internet and not held in any way that couldn't be grabbed by a computer. And excuse me. So what happened? What I used to do, because I was a very sad individual. I had no money when I moved to the city.
Talking to you, Google.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even have Google then, so I had no one to talk to. That's exactly my point. So the phone would ring, and someone would be like, "Blah blah blah, I'm from something, blah 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 blah," and I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about that." So, have you seen this movie? And I'd go along with it because they think that somewhere along they're going to get an opportunity to convert it into a sale. But I'd just keep talking. It's just like, yeah, how's your day been? Got any kids? If you want to see a photo of my cat.
Maybe it's just a company I work for, but we have a very specific list of like people who fill in a quiz online that tells them what kind of bird they are or some stuff, and then asks you for your phone number, red flag. But then they go on the list. So we're not calling strangers, but it still doesn't change the fact that we get some really bogus names entered into the list. So today I called Bob the Builder. I called Bob Marley.
Can he fix it?
He can't.
Did you ask him?
He didn't pick up. So I don't think he can fix it.
No.
I got a guy whose first name was Show Me and last name The Quiz. We got a guy whose name was Uwu. Just some great names. But not only that, but like bogus phone numbers too. Or phone numbers you'd think are bogus. Like in Australia, obviously we're 04 and then a bunch of digits. So we got 0469696969. I had one like that. A man actually did pick up. So I can't imagine how many prank calls he gets all the time, or numbers for.
Yeah, do you want to read out his number for us all?
No, I can't do that, but it's like I don't want to make his time worse. He probably wonders why he gets calls. But
I remember.
Damn me, I'll call him live. You know,
I worked. I took marketing was my responsibility once within the company that I work with at the moment. And one of the things I got that because I understood it, and all the dinosaurs didn't. And I remember they had like a loyalty program where you sign up, and they're like, "Look at this, we got so many signups. You know, it was like thousands of them." I'm like, "Yeah, but." None of them gave us a number or an email address. We can't actually talk to these people, so we can't send them anything. Like, can't you find it in the phone book? I'm like, I'm done. This is it. I'm done. And there were so many fake names, and they get it a little bit now. This is a while ago, but it's just like, bruh, you actually there's I forget what the term was called. It's like you need reliable data. And I want to circle back to something in a second. But before that, I just wanted to say I got an email today that had my name in the subject line saying, "You have a virus." And I'm like, oh! And then I looked at the email address, and it was a legitimate email address. It said virus@yourmum.com. I'm like, oh.
Oh, your mum. I had to go with your mum today. They must be doing emails now.
They must be. But yeah, I wanted to circle around to this thing because it was a thing, not so much now. People are a little bit more clued up, but, and I don't want to sound like the old man of the podcast, but
you are the old man.
I'm not the old man of the podcast.
No,
I'm not the old man of the podcast. But what I want to say is back in the day when you used to get the, hey, do this quiz to see what color you are, right? And then you go, and then it comes through, and it's like, hey, yeah, well, okay, so what's your name? What's your last initial? What's your mum's maiden name? And what's your first pet's name? And what street did you live on? Yeah, cool, thanks. And then they just steal your identity because that's all the questions you need to get your bank card.
And
people did it so often, and I'd send it to everyone on Facebook when they're poking each other, and so many people lost so much money because of that dumb shit. I swear to God. And this is like people, I don't want to go on a fucking tangent here, but people always talk about like, oh, the internet's a scary place, they're going to rob you, whatever. You freely provide them so much information. Of course they're going to use it. Like Facebook is just like, you know, just explain yourself to the internet and they'll take it and sell it to them.
I used to run scams when I was like 13 or 14 to steal people's Habbo hotel furniture. That would include me building a fake Habbo login page.
Hang on. FBI, open up! FBI!
No, me.
So many people on Habbo did that though. Like it was piss easy to do.
I would like someone to try and take me to the police for this.
I thought you were gonna say you wish someone would take you to Habbo Hotel.
I mean, yeah, well, what I would do is make like a bogus website that was a complete direct copy of the Habbo front page, and then people would fill in their username and password, sometimes other details, and then it would just populate like an Excel spreadsheet. I'd log into their account, steal all their stuff, and then leave, and transfer it between accounts.
So kids don't do that with Habbo anymore, but they definitely do that with Minecraft.
Yes, I think the amount of times I get emails. I get emails being like someone's trying to steal your Minecraft account. I have a Minecraft account that it's got like an OG name. So the name is like no numbers, no characters. It's my name. So it's just Shelby. That's my Minecraft account. And it has been hacked too many times. People trying to steal it. I get like password change request emails all the time.
I just remember it's like we went through a whole thing where I was like, oh, we're going to make a Let's Play video. We're going to do a video for the YouTube channel. Got a heap of mates together. Half of them haven't played Minecraft in forever. The amount of people that log into their account, like, why have I got this skin? Why have I brought all this stuff? It's like, did you use your password? Like, yeah, it hasn't changed in 10 years. And I'm like, oh boy. It's yeah. And then it's like you see it all the time on Reddit and stuff like that, where people will change their password and then they'll get a message. It's like, hey bro, I was using your account. Is it cool if I can get the new passwords?
I have seen that. They're like, oh man, I'm emailing you because it says you changed the password on the Minecraft account I've been using. Can I get the new password? It's like, what the fuck? No, you didn't pay for it.
What the actual fuck? How old's Minecraft now anyway?
Too old.
Taking this into like a kind of like, this is a little bit of a tangent. Moving away from games for a second. My girlfriend was telling me a story. It's originally I wasn't allowed to talk about it because she told me in confidence, and so for the last 3 weeks, right? It was it's not a trouble in paradise. It's just to do with like the hacking and stealing identity shit. So she works for a hospital. I won't say which, but Eastern Health. I don't know if you guys know it. It's like a big.
Mhm.
It's a lot of the hospitals
know
out
it.
this way, right?
Yep.
So recently they were in the news for the Russians currently holding the entire patient file, like the big database.
It's been crypto locked.
It's been crypto locked. Yep.
Yeah.
They're currently holding everything ransom for I think it was something like 20 mil or some crazy number.
Yep.
Right. But so this happened like 5 years ago, right? So when she was like just starting out as a grad nurse, like just starting out as like doing like placements and whatnot, she actually was there during one of the first times where it actually happened. And this has been going. It's only just come to the news because they've all been threatened with like you'll lose your job if you go to the press kind of thing. And so none of them had spoken, but someone has this time, and this happens every year.
Yeah.
So every
it happens
year,
it happens a lot.
yeah.
And,
so every year there's like a period of like 3 to 4 months where like the entirety of Eastern Health is like completely, they're using pen and paper basically. There's there's nothing else that they can do. They're down to just pen, paper, and hoping that they know what medications people need.
Yeah. So part of like my job is like I fix problems, and that is a problem that happens so much more than it's talked about. Like people get ransomware attacks daily. It's crazy. And like not even like if you think like a hospital or whatever, that's big target, whatever else, they'll hit the milk bar and just like freeze all their records on their computer, and they won't ask for a lot. They'll just ask for $1,000, and half the time the advice will be just pay them because you need that data.
Yeah.
And away they go. It's crazy.
The thing is, it's insane how like they keep getting away with it. Like there was talks at the start of like the last time it happened, apparently there was supposed to be talks that the government was stepping in and like adding a bunch of infrastructure to like stop this happening again. But basically since the first time, they've basically just left this back door so that every time they give them back access, they can then just come back and say, hey, actually sneak your way back in.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they just need to spend some, and it's not a little bit of money. It's a lot of money on like cybersecurity stuff. And not only that, it changes yearly almost. Like you gotta keep paying money. It's expensive. And that's where people sort of weigh up how much it costs versus like how much it costs to fix it. Anyway, like it happens all the time. People often they'll go, hey, can you talk about this, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, it's done. Like if your IT guy says it's done, it's done. Just buy a new computer, start again. Like it's either that'll pay the ransom. And it happens a lot. And look, it even happens in my business a lot. And I have a fail safe that I've paid for in my business where if that happens, we literally just pick the hard drives up and throw them in the bin. And then we have like a backup hard drive, like they're basically SSDs that back up every 5 minutes, and like we can run them as a server. And that's how we do it. So if they crypto lock our fucking server, we just drop it in the bin and go, okay, well, that was a good server. Good luck. But I can tell you the last time that it happened, it was quite literally they figure out the name on their account. So whatever your email address is. So let's say John Smith, and then they send that account John Smith. They go, John Smith, here's the it'll just say, hi John Smith, the invoice you requested is attached, and then it'll just have an invoice.doc attached to it. They click it, done, gone. That's it. Server's gone. Everything. It just spreads like fucking wildfire. It's that simple. They send that to a 75-year-old man who's looking for his invoice. They click it every time.
It's like it. My dad works pretty much the same job as what you do now. Working for a company called Agfa, and he was telling me when I told him the same story I just said to you about Eastern Health. He's saying, yeah, I deal with this shit. People being idiots and not understanding the difference between a legitimate work email and a spam email, and they click on something and then bam, they have to fucking pay some ransom or just like completely like destroy a computer. Yeah, it's fucked.
Circle back to your mum. All right, that email that he sent from your mum, obviously legitimate. Obviously was not going to lock my computer if I clicked it. I mean, obviously my mum is sending me invoices that I need to check.
Just kind of like we were just talking about Google. What if Google one day you're just sitting at home, right? And your Google turns around and goes, "Hey, I've been crypto locked. If you want your Google search history to be kept safe."
But the thing with Google and stuff like that is they have that fail safe where they'll go, "You crypto locked me? Okay, I'll just delete that."
But it's still funny to think about.
No, what would be funny is if you think of like small town independent bank that gets crypto locked, and they do. What do? Like I said, but it doesn't get talked about enough. And the simple fact of it doesn't go into mainstream media because mainstream human beings don't understand it. It's like mum and pa and the people that are still watching free-to-air TV don't understand what it means to be ransomware. And like there's bits, I'm going to butcher his name, but is it Kit Boyaga who does the Twitch channels where he rings the scammers?
Love him.
Like he is doing the God's work because he's showing everyone what it's like for Nana who picked up the phone and like what they're going through. So because half the time when Nana goes, I just lost all my money because I gave it to this guy in Amazon gift cards, people are like, you stupid, why would you do that? And Kit's on Twitch streaming it and he's breaking through to like mainstream media and showing this is what it's like. They are very convincing. And like he knows, like so he trolls them a bit for entertainment purposes, but he's also educating us and saying, hey, when this person rings up and he says, hey, your Windows PC is broken, you go, well, I've only got a Mac. He goes, well, I meant Mac. That's a red flag.
You'd hope people would realize these things, but
they
it's
don't.
Sadly, like 90% of the general public are very uneducated when it comes to tech.
At the end of the day, like when it's all said and done, computers are a huge point and a huge part of your life now. Face it or not, your iPhone, your Samsung, they're computers still, all right? It is worth investing in fucking proper security or proper tech support or just talking to someone who knows what they're talking about before doing anything stupid, you know? And like, look, there's plenty of companies out there who will ask for a small amount of money, which is basically insurance. And then when old mate rings up and says, I'm from X amount of company I've never heard of before, you say, sorry, I've already got a guy. Leave me the fuck alone. Simple as that. Because yeah, it's don't even go look into how much money is lost through this craziness.
Yeah, no, Shelby took like $100 of my hotel furniture. Fucking hell,
I'm not a scammer.
Yeah, Shelby took all this money and something called a Twitch subscription. Fucking what a scam!
Jesus,
only
streams once a week.
Look, my mother gets a lot of these scam calls. I'm not sure why, but
can we go back a step? Right?
No.
Oh,
whenever she gets these calls, generally she tries to get further enough with them that she'll come and hand me the phone. And I remember once I got her the phone and I don't know, I think I was having a day, so I just kind of let loose on this guy. I'm like, how shitty do you have to be in life, in school, to have this end up being your job? And I full on went abusing at him. And then he just started going like, I was just like, fuck you. He goes, no, fuck you. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. Me and this scammer from, I think, Bangladesh or something, we're just having at it. And it was just like, I don't know, it was just very satisfying, to be honest, in the end, to just let loose on one of them, but have him stay on the line long enough that I could. But then he handed the phone to his manager. And then the same thing kept going. Just, fuck you. No, fuck you. It was kind of great.
My question is, at what point did we go from your parents telling you the internet's dangerous, don't put your real name on the internet, it's a scary place out there, don't do it, to them handing over the password to their Windows account to some stranger who called them randomly?
Right,
like,
yeah.
Remember when it was like, the internet is stranger danger. You never know who you're talking to on the internet. And then it's like, I gave my bank details to this guy who rang me and said he was from Elstra. I'm like, do you mean Telstra? No, he said Elstra, and he only takes Google gift cards.
Yeah, stranger danger. Yeah, I met all my friends on the internet and my boyfriend. Fuck.
I love that whole notion of like stranger danger. Don't give people your number on the internet. Don't like go out and hang out with people. But we literally now use our phones to put our details in them to call a random stranger to our house to pick us up and take us places. You know,
Uber.
Yo, remember? Okay, you say that, but also Uber is amazing. I come from a time, not going to say that I'm old, right? But I come from a time when it was taxi or nothing, all right? And half the time you got a taxi, they're like, that puke's dry, don't worry about it. You can sit in that, it's fine. It's like, I don't want to.
I don't know what sort of taxis you're taking, but...
Dirty ones at 3 a.m.
One Uber driver a bad rating because the guy that picked us up in the Uber wasn't the name of the person. So
Bro, I got picked up in a convertible.
I'm like, okay, well then. Okay.
I got picked up in a convertible the other day, and I'm like, is this my Uber? He's like, yeah, man. Do you want a drink? Yeah, do you want to put some tunes on? I'm like, fuck.
Because like when the fancy Ubers don't have anyone fancy to pick up, they
So,
just pick up normal people.
not many people remember, but when the Uber came out and they had to smash the taxi industry, they're like, Uber's a new experience. It's going to be fantastic. So then you take the dried up vomit, smelly taxi, and then you go to the Uber. Every Uber would like, they provide you with a bottle of water, some candy, some relaxing tunes, air conditioned climate control.
Mm-hmm.
They were all like a certain year or whatever. It's all like very classy. And I can talk as someone who couldn't find a taxi at 3 a.m. and walked home. Ubers are a godsend, right? They are so good. And stranger danger be damned, all right? There was an article I was reading about how when the iPhone came out, everyone downloaded this app called The Torch, right? Because there was no flash on the OG iPhones. Like, so if you wanted to, no torch function, right? Free app, just makes your screen go white so you can use it as a torch, right? Harmless. Tracking all your search history, tracking all your metadata, your locations, selling it onwards. That's how they made all their money, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's next level stranger danger straight up.
Yeah.
Like, if you think that we are now in a world where we control our information, just give up on that, all right? Just don't do anything dumb, all right? Don't give them a reason to go, hey, what's this guy doing? Just fucking, be a decent human being. You'll be fine.
I raise the opposite. Go the opposite way. Go real fucked, so that when people look at your search history and they look at your data, that they think, holy fuck, this guy's a lunatic. I'm not going
they do already, but... See, I would take that. I'm taking what you're saying and I'm going to double down on it. All right. I'm going to say that we're all fucked and that's the new normal.
See, this is why I spend 90% of my life in Valorant fan fiction. Like,
I kind of want to say it's to roll back to like the Uber discussion and like how you want to protect your privacy and things like that. And like speaking on like for me and Jelly as women, we have to take Uber very differently.
Sure, I get that.
And a lot of the times, what surprises me with Uber is, we've had girls who say, oh, I've gotten in an Uber, but it turns out it was the wrong car. And ever since I got Uber from the very first moment, and I'm not victim blaming here, but I've never gotten into an Uber where I haven't matched the number plate to the number plate that I see on my phone.
Yeah. But I've read on like Reddit and stuff like that where people be like, hey man, are you our Uber? And they're like, yes, get in.
Yeah, I've read that as well. But like when you order the Uber, it gives you the vehicle description, the number plate for it, and if all that matches, it's like, okay, well, this is the right car.
Yeah, I could never imagine getting into an Uber without checking that number plate at the very least, because I mean, you hear awful stories of things happening to women. But Jelly, have you been in an Uber situation where you've had to share your location with a friend?
No, not even when I went over to America or anything. So I've never had that situation.
I went into a crack den and had to share my location with Shelby because
you didn't share me your location. You just said I'm at a crack den.
Yeah, so when you see on the news that a male got murdered in a crack den today, you go, "Oh my god, that's Alani."
I was in a Discord with a couple hundred women, and I ended up like a couple of times sharing my location and my entire like drive history with like 100 women, just being like, something sus is happening. He's driving the wrong way, like he's driving in a circle or something. Because it's like a scary world out there with that sort of.
Yeah. So let's all agree it's fucked. All right. Yeah, we all agree it's fucked.
Yeah.
Cool. Because like the other thing as well, on the flip side of that is, and you don't see it very often. I've had it once where I called an Uber and I got a female driver. And I made the comment because we were just chatting. It was actually, she was really lovely. And I said to her, this is the first time I've had a female Uber driver. And she said, I fucking hate it. I only work these days and these hours because if you ever do like Saturday at 4 a.m., you get nothing but creeps. And I'm like, fair call. I hear you.
I had one female Uber driver once who was the first one I had in Sydney, and she tried to sell me on like a multi-level marketing scam. So, not a good experience.
Also, Sydney's a little different because taxi drivers can be Uber drivers.
Yes, which I did get a few times, but not as often as you might think. But yeah, just going back to like almost a scam discussion again, we're going full circle here. My Uber driver tried to get me into a multi-level marketing scam.
My boss at work has just tried to recently get me into one of those because I've been taking lessons on like the stock market and shit from my granddad, and like trying to get me into like investing in shares and shit.
I can help you with that. Dogecoin. We're going to the
Dogecoin,
moon.
yeah.
We're going to the moon.
Going to the moon. Yep. But so I was explaining to my boss, because I'd only been working there like a week and a bit, and I was talking to him, and I was just like, oh yeah, no, my granddad's showed me a couple of tips, like, there's spread out your investments, don't invest solely in something.
Dogecoin.
Like, yeah, just like all these useful tips, and he's just like, yeah, nah, my mates have got me into this thing where, like, you sign up to this thing and you put in like $2,000, and then eventually it'll start like ramping up and the money, and then if you get more people to sign up with you, like the amount of money that goes up will go up even more, and you'll start getting paid like a salary and stuff from this company. And I'm sitting there just like, it's not an investment fund, that's a pyramid scheme. It's straight up plain and simple. But then I didn't say anything to him, and then he's just like came to me like yesterday, the day before when I was at work, and he's telling me about how he had to pull out all of his money because all of a sudden the stock that it was like some software. All of a sudden the software just went like full 180, was going up, and then just like went 180 and just died.
Imagine if you did that as a pyramid scheme, but then you just convinced everyone to keep buying your stock. Like if you agreed to buy, we're going to use Dogecoin as an example. You buy Dogecoin, and then your job is to convince other people to buy Dogecoin to drive the value up, and then convince them to convince other people to buy Dogecoin to drive the value up.
I mean, that sounds like what is happening.
It's basically a pyramid scheme, yeah.
But look,
I just want to say, right, because while we're swapping stories of pyramid scheme, I went to get my certified certificate in retail management, and my educator tried to get me into a pyramid scheme. They're like, hey, you don't really want to work here. I mean, I've got this other deal. Do you want to see the pamphlet? And I looked at it, and I'm like, it's literally the shape of a pyramid. I'm like, I'm good. And also, I don't think we should do this anymore.
I just cycling back to Frog's description of that whole thing. I feel like at that point, that scam is as obvious enough as like horny milk in your area. Just may as well click on one of those banners, sign up, put your credit card information.
But see, the thing was with him, it was like 5 of his closest mates got into it. Then they convinced him to get into it. Then he convinced his close mates, and then it just somehow people just fall for it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? This is the thing with fucking pyramid schemes. They talk to their mates, and they get their mates in it, and you end up costing your mate their house. Exactly. And they're like, I'm sorry, dude, I didn't realize it was a pyramid scheme. It's like, fuck me.
He was saying his mate had to go, he took out a loan to get a car or something off some of the money that he was earning from that. Like, he was counting that as like a steady income. And then now he's lost everything, and like he has to pay the bank back what is owed, and he's not going to be able to afford it.
I don't know if it's like just me, but like I don't know mate's money. That's it. It's either I'm giving you money or you're giving me money, but no one ever owes anyone anything, because fuck me.
Fuck yeah, I don't owe you for the pizza. Hell yeah, boy.
Exactly. And this is like it's the same with everything. I'm a true Australian. You go to the pub, I respect the shout, but it's like, never owe your mates money. Never go into business with your mates. Like, never sign any fucking paper that says it. Because if shit goes wrong, I don't want to cost them money and shit. And the pyramid schemes are the worst. And I've had people that are like, and I don't want to call it a pyramid scheme, and we might trigger some people here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Tupperware parties. All right? Tupperware parties. What the fuck is that? What is that scam?
I can speak from experience. Okay. I am a 26-year-old woman from regional Victoria who has a lot of friends who have had babies, and like the thing people with babies do in regional Victoria is they stay home and then they get hooked into a pyramid scheme. And I'm talking and I'm talking like you've got a chef's toolbox, which went under. You've got your Avon, which went under.
Yeah, I see Avon. Yeah.
Yeah, you have your Tupperware, which is still okay, I guess.
Tupperware's afraid. If they're going good, there's like 90% of
going since the 70s. But
I know that we talked about that. I have a new job, but by trade, I'm a linen specialist. I specialize in bed linen and home furnishing, things like that.
You might not know it, but there's like a vitamin supplement or something that was going around crazy.
But as I was just continuing to say,
of course, no.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is. So the thing that people keep inviting me to is the Lorraine Lee linen parties. They're like, wow, you like linen, you know a lot about linen. Come to this party. It's bad linen. It's not good. Why throw a party for something that's that shit? You know, I went on somebody's page who invited me to one of these parties, and I wrote, look, I don't support MLMs, which is multi-level marketing. I won't be attending. And then some bitch fucking wrote on that page going, I'm going to attend because I'm a good friend and I support my friends. Like, she was full on shading me. And man, friends don't let friends get into MLMs. You don't.
God,
Do
that's
that.
a shirt. That's a shirt if I've ever heard it.
Absolutely.
Wait. What kind of quality linen are we talking about making a shirt
We're
out of?
talking
We're
about...
an expert.
Okay, shut up first. You don't know shit. Anyway, but we're talking Lorraine Lee linen was stuff that was not even good enough to be at Spotlight on the discount table.
Oh,
Like, it's
so
not
the stuff, the $14.99 sheets that I brought for Catch of the Day, they're not good.
You don't have those sheets anymore. Why don't you have those sheets anymore? Because
you
I
told me
took you
they're
shopping.
garbage.
Exactly. This is, you know, but not only that, you've got Scentsy, which is like fancy candles and candle melts and things like that. You've got Herbalife, which, fuck, if you've ever been to a gym in Australia, like an independent gym, you've been stalked by a Herbalife employee.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always some Herbalife.
Local market.
Yes, there's always some Herbalife guy just fucking watching you like a dirty perv in the corner. Just waiting for his motion. Look, if anything, I am
you looking for some Herbalife?
It's like they may as well be shilling out crack at this point, like the way that they act.
Well, I was going to say probably crack dealers have got more respect.
Crack dealer at least gave you a cat. I don't think a Herbalife employee would give you a cat.
Oh, well, they sold me the cat.
Jelly probably understands what I'm dealing with here, though, because she's also a woman, and as a woman, you get invited to more of these like MLMs for sad stay-home mums.
Excuse me? Is that how it works?
Yes.
What about sad people that buy Google Homes to talk to?
Actually, you know what the worst fun is, right? When you get invited, no, hold on. This is the icing on the cake. When you get invited to one of these MLM parties, and it's for vibrators and lingerie.
Oh, can I come?
And
I've never had that.
You haven't had that? They want you to
I've had one for like these types of nails. I think they're called jelly nails or something like that. I've had that. I was like,
Jamberry nails. Yes. So they're really bad like stickers for your nails. They're not even like nails, they're just stickers.
Can someone acknowledge my joke? It was the best.
No.
Oh.
No.
I didn't even hear what you said. So
I said, can I come to the vibrator party?
For fuck's sake. Look, so these vibrator parties are super awkward. Not only that, though, but it's kind of awkward when they're trying to shill a $10 vibrator for $90. Like,
I've heard of situations where I know bachelorette parties have done like a full-blown dildo show where like
that though.
Like they're sitting. It's like part of the event. Like it's part of the night. Because I got friends like I know from high school that have had these. Like I've seen it on Snapchat.
Do they have kids?
Yes, they got kids. Yeah. Yes, and so like for like their bachelorette party, they to start off the night like pre-drinks wise, they had a fucking one of those dildo shows. Like they just like had a bunch of the gals around, and they had some lady showing them and selling them the best of the best in terms of dildos and vibrators. Like it's
bachelorette party is like a bit better as long as it's not one of those MLMs. And it's like just a fun
why
thing.
are women gatekeep dildo party? All right.
We're not. You're invited. Do you want to go to a dildo
party?
I'm
coming to the dildo party.
Yeah. Woo! Can we all have a group?
We'll have
dildo party.
ZLB dildo party. Okay.
We'll do it at PAX or something.
One of the last things that I want to touch on this MLM subject, and it kind of said, you know, it's all the stay-at-home mums who get bored and like they join an MLM, but not really that, but it's so much so that it is usually your school bully always has an MLM. Like I was always bullied, but it's always the girls who peaked in high school who have an MLM and want you to go to the parties. I
don't know who the bullies are or not, but I definitely agree with respect to the stay-at-home mums, but you're right, it's them. Yeah, yes, and you know what? And again, respect. I'm not trying to upset anyone, but what I'm saying is they're spending so much time at home on Facebook posting pictures of their kids that they click their friend's link to an MLM and then they're done, they're gone. And
well, that's the thing. We were talking about scams and stuff. MLMs are predatory on vulnerable people, and I would consider a stay-at-home mum who is lonely and at home and needs a second income to be a vulnerable person. They specifically are designed to prey on people in those situations. So it's not even their fault, really. It is the very targeted, systematic.
Yes.
It's quite awful like that. But it doesn't mean I'm going to go to your fucking party, okay, Karen? Don't invite me to go and buy some candles.
Hey, Karen. Karen, I'm speaking to you now. Don't ignore everyone else. Karen, what does it take to get into the Karen demographic for streaming? All right, because I know you're all sitting at home with nothing better to do than sitting on Facebook. Why don't you not sit on Facebook, but come to my Twitch channel and subscribe? All right, use your Amazon Prime subscription now. Like, what do I have to do, Karen, to get you in? All right,
do you want me to party on stream?
Jesus Christ. Okay, all right. I have a question about the dildo party, and it's a segue into something else.
I also have a thing.
My question is, how is the dildo party affected by COVID? Right? Does that mean they have Zoom dildo parties now?
Definitely. Most likely.
Are you telling me you don't just sit on Zoom and like show vibrators to people?
I try not to be in Zoom the best of days.
Sorry. Do they all get sent out like a box of samples to them so that at the Zoom party they can all just like whip them out, and then when they're being shown what to do, like with certain dildos, like they have one there in front of them, or is it just like one person has all the dildos and then you're just watching?
Yeah, you're just watching. Some people like to just watch, so
that's boring.
Wait, what?
So I think I had this conversation. I think it was Shaughnessy that was in my Twitch chat the other day. Oh, someone was talking about is that fur website, and I said if I get 5 subscribers, I will live stream me going through the furry dildo website that everyone was talking about, and the dragon dildos and all that's that one. That's the name. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
I said I would do an entire stream where I'm just going through and rating out of 10 all the different furry dildos. So, Karen's, if you want to come to my stream as well.
You can't take that though. You're banned. You have to Zoom it.
My concern is
you can do an online shopping dildo stream. It's fine. It's within TOS then because it's online shopping.
So I have a couple of concerns. The first one is that my mother knows how to listen to podcasts. My second one is that like what I'm going to say next, which is basically like the whole bad dragon, whatever else. That's pretty normal now. Like it's not that bad. And I actually feel like I don't know if a dragon penis is TOS, but it's what it is. But I know that the Achievement Hunter guys, who I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth and have been for a very long time, they do like a mail-in show, and the amount of people that sent them dildos and bad dragon dildos to the point where they were just like having dildo wars in their office. Like no one, and the kids watch that shit as well. No one even cared. They're just like, these guys are having fun with dildos. There's nothing wrong here, you know? And I feel like we should all just have fun.
So first of all, hi, Aladi's mum, if you're listening. I'm sorry that your introduction to his girlfriend was about dildo shopping, and now this, but it wasn't my fault. I just want to say that first. Now continue.
So I want to segue. All right, we're going to segue away from this because I wanted to talk about. We talked about it a little bit on stream last night with Shelby, but I know Frog wasn't there, so we can hear Frog's experience to this responses. So a friend of mine, COVID times, all right. Work Christmas parties. They're working for a big business, and they tell you we're going to have a Christmas party on Zoom instead of in person. So we expect everyone to log into Zoom to have a party together. But we're going to have some entertainment as well. So we're going to invite some comedians to come Zoom with us for this party. So this party apparently it was like kicks off at 7, and for 2 hours it was all the employees there, and then like 2 comedians bullying everyone for 2. And this is what COVID's done to us, right? Because they probably would have got a very fancy party and like drinks and all that sort of stuff and you know whatever else, but instead they got a Zoom call with 2 comedians that picked on them because they've got no content because they're also locked down, and it's a horrible experience.
Comedians do. They always pick on people in the front rows. That's why when you go to a comedy show, you never sit in the front rows.
But in the case of a Zoom call, everyone would be in the front call, right?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like everyone would be getting picked on.
Well, actually, it kind of depends because Zoom, if you have too many people on a call, not all of the cameras can fit on one page. So I guess it's the first page of people.
So the trick would be to lay perfectly still so Zoom thinks you're inactive and doesn't show your face.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Zoom does it by activity sometimes, or is it alphabetical? So then just like put an asterisk at the end of your name, and like put a Z if you want to be last or something. My experience with Zoom is pretty limited. I've only been using it this week, but I was told my company that I'm now working for, sometimes, because everyone works from home, they're going to order every work from home person pizza, coordinate it to come at the same time, and we'll have a Zoom pizza party. And I don't know about you, but
it's the same thing though, isn't it? Right? It's the same thing where they're trying to make you, they're trying to force the social interaction into Zoom to say it's the same thing. Where what you're about to say is you don't want a camera zoomed in on you eating.
No, I'm about to say, kind of. Okay, sort of. I'm about to say, I don't want to be watched while I'm eating pizza because I'm a little gremlin, okay? Also, not only I'm a pizza gremlin, but not only that, it takes me like an hour to eat like half a pizza.
Yeah,
like, I'm a slow eater.
I go to work parties and steal the pizza and go to the back of the room and eat it all.
Yeah, but also like when I'm having pizza, I don't want to be associating pizza with work. What the fuck? No, I don't want to have pizza.
Hang on. That's talk of someone who's just started a job because when your soul's evaporated from your body, all right, free beer and free pizza is all you have to look forward to. Okay.
Like, okay, so more or less, okay, so I have pizza right next to me right now. Okay, I'm doing this, I've got pizza. Oh, hang on, let me just eat a slice for this segment.
No,
okay,
don't eat on podcast.
So my problem is that I like to eat my pizza in front of my computer watching like a movie or something, or in a podcast right now.
Everyone just left because they don't like listening to people chew.
I don't want to associate
back to this
having pizza with a Zoom call. I just want to have my pizza and annoy my friends with my ASMR and pee.
Welcome to 2021. Shit's fucked.
That was a good slice.
PAX is still happening. It's fine. It's already been.
PAX is still happening.
In the borders shut down again and no one can go anywhere again.
Also, let's talk about PAX for a second. They told everyone that because of COVID and because it's like they're having conventions again, that there's going to be a limited amount of tickets. And then they use this, I don't know if it's the same website they always used or a new website, whatever else, but they could not handle the amount of people that were stressing about the fact there's going to be limited tickets because that shit melted under the pressure. And I was lucky enough to be able to have an hour out of my day where I could sit there going, hitting refresh, waiting for it to go, no, it didn't work, and got my ticket. But I think maybe 100 people got the tickets. And now they're back to rebuilding their website to sell tickets.
Look, at this stage, I don't even care if I don't get a PAX ticket. I just want to go back into Melbourne and get really fucking drunk again with all my friends.
Well, you can't. Hang on. And I'm not bragging to the rest of the world. All right, we see you, we hear you there, Belgium. You're listening, all right. But as of tonight, no masks needed indoors. Melbourne is mask free.
Only in Ubers and public transport.
That's it, and only in that's huge compared to like half of America's going through wave 19 or something. I don't know, but it's like I don't want to get into a political debate about how we fuck up the vaccine and like how we don't know what we're doing in the Australian governments or whatever. It's whatever, but it's like in terms of Melbourne and Victoria and where most of us are, we've been through the shit. All right, we've been through the shit. And we've come out the other side and we know we don't have to wear a mask. And that's pretty good, which means we can go to a bar and it means I can wear my glasses without the fucking fogging up, which means I could go and see while they drink. It's amazing.
So in October, regardless whether or not PAX happens, we are gathering and we are getting drunk. Really drunk.
Well, that was
and drunk enough.
Yeah.
Drunk enough that Jelly's gonna vomit again.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to vomit again.
If I'm there, Jelly, this is it's. I didn't see it the first time.
Just buy the most bright coloured cocktails you can find. That's how I do it.
Don't get me the blue one. Now the blue one was like.
It was a jelly bean. You have blue hair. You have blue drink. What's the problem?
I didn't have blue hair then. I was too chicken to get it done.
Why?
Now I got it done. Now
we are
blue and purple.
We will definitely PAX is happening regardless. How it happens will be one other story. But yeah, we'll definitely have it. We'll have some kind of meetup or something like that, and we'll drink. We will drink to forget about the last year, and I think Jelly's the only one who's not in Victoria. But and I was looking at it today because it's actually in my job to look at last year's data and stuff like that, and I'm like, at this time last year we were going into stage 3 lockdown for the first wave of COVID. It's been a year, and then we stayed in that bitch until October.
It took me a month to crack the shit so much that I cut off half my hair, and now it's fully growing back.
Yeah, it's wild. It's
Britney
wild.
moment.
And like to give you an idea, and the reason why like I know this very well is because I got asked why our figures this year are 70% down on last year. And I said, because this time last year we were panicking and we were buying everything that wasn't tied down. And it's like I have 2 rolls of toilet paper and 1 mask. That's not enough. I need 1,000 of each, please, because I'm going
You
to die.
guys were selling toilet paper by the pallet.
We selling. There was companies that sell like chemicals and stuff like that who literally just stopped their warehouse, flushed their tanks, and said, "We're doing hand sanitizer in bulk now because we know how to make that." Like that, the world changed for COVID, and it's been a year. So it's for us to like. It's literally going to be the point. Like at the end of today, because we're recording on a Friday, we don't have to wear masks indoor. All right. On the 30th of March last year is when Daniel Andrews came out and told people in Victoria that we're going into lockdown and you can't go outside unless you're going to work or going to the doctors. That's it.
I remember so many people being so mad at him in particular. Like,
yeah,
he's not the cause of COVID. Like, he was not the reasoning behind why we went into lockdown. Like, he had a team behind him, and that team did a lot better than 90% of the fucking other.
The amount of times he came out and he said, "I get given advice and I take it."
Yeah, like he was getting good advice too. But then,
and look, at the end of the day, and political agenda aside, the guy knew that someone had to be the guy. Like, someone had to be the guy who stands up there and says, "Hey guys, this is bad news, and this is it." And he just fucking did it. He
killed himself politically in order to try and save our state. Because, like, take for instance, he was in hospital the other day. He was in ICU.
Yeah, he
less than a week ago. He broke his back. Their top comments were this cunt's going, "Oh, fuck him. Fuck Dictator Dan. I hope you die. Oh, nah, I see you're in pain. Yeah, good." And shit like that. Like, fuck.
Yeah. And look,
like, the guy is just doing what he's
like I said, I don't want to get into political stuff. The guy did it. Like I said, we don't have to wear a mask anymore. He fucking did it. We got 0 local transmitted cases. We got 0 cases, full stop. There's not even anyone in the freaking hotels waiting at the moment. There's no cases of COVID in here, and they've only done 500,000 COVID vaccines for the whole state. All right, that's all. He's done well. All right, but aside from all the political, the bullshit and whatever else, the fact of life is, and the fact of the internet is, people don't leave comments unless they've got something to say. And the people that were just going with it and the people who were fine with it and whatever else, they're not the vocal minority. They're going to go there and say, "Hey, I wish your dog gets cancer." Because, like, they're the people that are sitting on the internet doing that. And at the end of the day, and I think that, he has to have some kind of understanding of saying, he gets that that's not the vocal minority. That's just the people, the trolls on the internet. But unfortunately, we live in a world where people, they believe what they see on TV, read on Facebook, etc., etc., etc. And there was a thing that was viral on Reddit today, and it was like some medical organization came out saying that, these people have died of COVID since it came out, blah, blah, blah. And then someone commented on that, like, "Hey, can we get a non-mainstream media source on this?" And they're like, "It's literally the medical institute that lost the people. How less mainstream do you need it?" But it's just people that are just like, "Don't believe what you read on the internet. I believe what I believe. That's it." And that's bullshit, basically. Yeah. But that's the internet. They gotta believe what we say. We're on a podcast. That's a license for us to say anything.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but does anyone here know anyone that's had COVID?
No.
I'm not meaning this in like a fucking...
Not like anyone
do you even
directly.
know anyone that's had COVID?
No.
Well,
I know. Like there's people that have been in my business that have had COVID, in my warehouse and stuff like that, and we've done whatever we've needed to do to deal with those situations. But I don't know anyone personally. And you read the reports and stuff that people are like, "Oh, they had these symptoms, and this is what you can expect," and whatever else. But generally speaking, I don't know anyone. I definitely got very sick during the whole COVID thing and had to go out and see firsthand what COVID testing and all the regulations and everything else that involved, and trying to keep everyone safe. And I come from a very long life of spending a lot of time in hospitals and stuff like that, and heart surgery up until this point had less precautions than COVID. Literally, you'd walk into someone who'd come out of heart surgery, shake everyone's hand, pat everyone on the back, fucking kiss them on the lips for all I care. And that was all cool. That was just the way it was. And now it's like you walk in, I'd walk into a hospital during a COVID time, and there's a guy that literally shatters you and wipes down anything that you go near.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
No, but the thing is, okay, so at the start of COVID last year with all the shit that happened with the cruise ships and the cruise ship industry because of COVID and those people that got stuck on the ship with COVID, right? All these things that have come into place now with the hand sanitizer, the wiping down, all of those things were already a thing on cruise ships way before COVID was a thing. And all these people that were commenting saying cruise ships are dirty, unsanitized and all that.
Yeah, but you know why though, right? Like, you know why? Because gastro outbreaks on cruise ships all the fucking time.
That happens. And they also say that people die on cruise ships all the time, but all the people that die on cruise ships are generally the retirees that are like in their 90s and stuff. There's always rumors on the cruise ship going around about how many people have died on this like cruise. It's just normal.
If I die, I'd like to die on a cruise ship.
I want to change the subject because this thing is a rabbit hole. But what my final statement on this is the media controls the message. All right. So if they want to tell everyone that cruise ships are dirty and they all die because of COVID, they will. But we all know that they die because most people are retirees who are going to die soon anyway, who want to go on a fucking cruise ship. Right, and they do that, and they're all close quarters, and they're all got low immune systems. And so, when one person gets sick, everyone gets sick, and that's why they have so many regulations to it. But they can only do so much.
Send them out on a boat, jab them with COVID, and let them have a good time. Let's go.
I was hospitalized for a little bit while COVID was happening. No, I just gotta finish off with saying, like, there's nothing quite as uncomfortable as sitting in your own hospital bed having to wear a mask for like 20 hours a day. So, not fun. 0 out of 10 would recommend.
It's no joke. That's the bottom line. All right, but well, that's all. And look, like I said, let's not get into it. But the message that is controlled is basically from the media, and unfortunately, most people get their information from either free-to-air TV or Facebook, and that's just life. Unfortunately, that it's not controlled. And I suppose to Frog's point, unless you actually see it for your own two eyes or see what the effects that it has on people, it's sort of like you should probably just hold your opinions back and leave it for someone who actually does experience.
Yeah, because I've the reason why I brought that up before is because I've seen people with COVID, and I know people that have had COVID. Like one of my girlfriend's like close mates that she works with, they're going to have to go as a result of copping COVID pretty early on. I think they were the third or fourth Victorian nurse to actually contract it. So this is really early on in the thing, and I've met this girl. She's lovely, but she's for now, like forever, for the rest of her life, is going to have to go back to get an MRI every 3 months to check her lungs because of the lasting effects of the COVID virus on her immune system.
And they don't know what it's going to do.
So this is an interesting point, I think, for myself and Jelly, because there has been a lot of research done on long COVID now, which is actually drawing attention for research on chronic fatigue syndrome, which is generally something that is a fairly, I'd say, under-researched illness that actually begins from a pre-existing infection, like COVID. Had long COVID come from it. So I had a really bad case of bronchitis, and I haven't been the same since. You can pick it up from a serious infection like that, or you can pick it up from, what's that? Glandular fever? That kind of thing?
That's how I got mine originally back in 2013 after the floods in Bundaberg.
Yeah. So since long COVID has kind of come into the spotlight, it's actually done positive things for the research into chronic fatigue. So that's something, yay!
Something I learned recently is that they can, from a swab, can tell if you've ever had glandular fever. Like the antibodies stay in your body forever.
Yeah, it doesn't go away like waste system.
Yeah. So the whole thing's fucked. The whole thing's scary, and it's whatever. But it's real, and I suppose going back to the whole point, however way you feel about the government and political whatever else, like it could have been so much worse, and we've come out to the point now where, like, I know that if I want to go get a beer this weekend, I can wear my glasses because I don't have to wear a mask and fog up anymore, and I'm pretty stoked about that. And and for the most part, I've behaved myself and did exactly what the advice has been, and I think most of us have, all abided by the recommendations of what the government sort of says and
no, you haven't. Else. You crossed the ring of steel 3 nights before it fell.
Look,
you naughty boy.
Naughty boy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, that's just the times, and that's just the time. But look, I know that we're running a little bit low on time, but I did want to come back to maybe a lighter topic, and only because we talked about this earlier today, Frog, because you were streaming your Russian game,
My Russian game, yes.
your Russian game, and you said that you wanted to talk about parties and birthday parties in particular.
Okay.
And then I threw a curveball straight back at you and said, "Hey, yeah, I've got some crazy stories. I went to a birthday party once where a guy lost a finger."
Now, again,
but you go first. You go first.
All right, so this stemmed because I reckon this is a pretty cool idea, right? So, I was going to bring this up. My girlfriend currently right now is out with her sister. Her birthday is tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
She's out for her birthday at a BYO alcohol place where you drink wine, whatever, and there's like 40 other people with you. It's in some studio warehouse, and you all get drunk, listen to some like comedian guy, and then you paint.
Oh,
yeah. I thought that like I've never heard or seen like any kind of like party event like that.
Who was I talking to?
So I thought I'd bring up the idea of a topic of craziest, wildest birthday parties that you've been to.
I don't because I've been on so many things and so much stuff. I don't remember if it was something on the podcast, but I was sure I was talking about this. But I went to a hipster bar in Brunswick, which is like the king of hipsterville here in Melbourne.
Yeah, it's
and
Brunswick.
it was a wild night. But I went to a bar to see a rap battle. Yes, an actual rap battle, like 8 Mile. And they had like booths where people doing artistic stuff where you can get your nails done. But they also had like half the dance floor was done for people doing live painting at this bar. It's very hipster, but I fucking loved it because it was so weird. And then I ended up getting dumplings with a macaw afterwards. So it's just Brunswick things. But yeah, that's cool. I'm all for it. And I'm a big fan of like, you know, the thing that I kind of hate it is when people go, "Let's go get drunk." I'll be like, "No, let's go get drunk playing laser tag because that sounds better to me. I want to do something. Like I need an event or something to do." And yeah, that's why I've been to. We should probably go out in Brunswick, actually. I've been to a bar in Brunswick, and I remember that they had like old school movies that were projected on the walls as if they were like wallpaper, basically. And I went to this party. I didn't know anyone there. I was just chilling in the corner, and they had projected on the wall Predator. And I was watching Predator drinking beers all night. And it was the fucking best. It was so good. It's like, get to the chopper.
One of them that I'd want to do would be getting drunk and going to one of those buildings where you can smash and break. You get given a room, you get given a bat, and you get given goggles, and you can just go in there and break everything. Like that would be so fun.
That's what I'm all for that shit. Like just doing stuff. And like in Melbourne there's heaps of shit to do in bars and whatever else. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. In terms of like parties and stuff though, I mean it's been a running joke for a long time. But my birthdays and my birthday parties in particular, they just get progressively worse as I get older. This last one gone wasn't too bad. I went to the Cat Cafe. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was good.
Yeah.
You had the weird Korean rainbow toast.
Yeah. The year before that, I don't think I did anything. The year before that, I was in an ambulance. The year before that was something else. Anyway, it's all horrible. But I'll tell. There's a couple. I have so many stories actually. Now that I think about it, there's so many stories. But we're running low on time, so I'll tell you about the finger thing because it's funny. Not funny. Well, you decide. Anyway, so and I'm not doxing myself because I don't live there anymore. But I grew up in a shithole of a town called Mildura. It's at the very far northwest corner of Victoria. There's nothing there. It's a desert, literally a desert. All right, if you want to Google it, it's a desert. The only thing that sort of like redeems it is the fact that it's on a river, which means that we have water to make things green in the desert. But that's still a desert, whether you like it or not. Anyway, I grew up there. There's a little shop called Woodsy's Gem Shop there. And it's quite literally hasn't changed since it's opened. And I think it opened in either the 70s or the 80s. And it's got gems in like glass cases and terribly like it's I don't know, like it's so hard to describe. Google it if you don't believe me. Woodsy's Gem Shop. It's horrible. It has like rock tumblers and stuff there. Anyway, you go in there, you get a subpar meal, you can get yourself an ice cream, and you can do like you can go to a tour and look at shiny rocks and stuff like that, but most of it's designed for kids. But the thing that they've got that's like their major attraction is they have a garden maze in there, and it's like, as a kid, it's huge. As an adult, it's laughable, but as a kid, it's huge, right? So everyone knows the hack, right? If you want to solve a maze, you go in and you just hug the left-hand wall, and eventually you get out the exit. That's how mazes work. Sorry, spoiled mazes for you. But the way that they combat this in this thing is they have one-way doors with dead ends. So you go through a door, it locks behind you. You literally have to wait for someone else to come and unlock it to get you out, right? And that's the way it works. And I remember I had a birthday party there once where I locked myself in there and there was no one else coming. So I just screamed forever because I was a child. And my mother never lets me forget that, because she just was standing there laughing at me, screaming, thinking I was going to die. And that's just my mother for you. Anyway, this was my friend's birthday. We all go through the maze. We all get stuck in this one-way area where the door's shut behind us. And we're like, hey, man, we're fucking smart. We can solve this. So when we made a pyramid where we could like push people up and get them so we could climb over the door. Now, everything's made out of chicken wire. So it's just wire. Right? So he's up, my mate's up and he's over and he's climbing the door. Meanwhile, someone comes past and sees us all trapped there and like pushes the door open. And in the motion of pushing the door open, he falls backwards and a piece of wire launches into his hand and rips the tendon right up his pinky and cuts all through his little finger, basically turning it, into not hand much anymore.
Is that the official medical term?
Well, see, this is the thing, and it's kind of dumb, and everyone's going to agree that it's kind of dumb. We don't know the medical term because we didn't see a doctor. We just wrapped that bad bitch in a jumper and left it.
Fucking hell.
So
he still got use of his finger, or is it fucked?
So it fucked. It says he lost the finger. So he didn't go to see a doctor. He just kind of wrapped it in a bandage when we got back to the place and whatever else and let it go. And it grew back. It like the skin grabbed back. But if you can imagine, like the palm of his hand to his tip of his little finger was like a webbed skin, and like he couldn't basically open up his little finger anymore. And he just accepted that because going to the doctor was lame. And it wasn't until like years and years later that he went into a plastic surgeon and they fixed it properly and fixed everything that was going on. But like he had chronic pain and all sorts of weird stuff going on. And it was all just because we tried to climb a fence and whatever, that this woman just opened it and he's like, ah! And it's like, we're like, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's fine. It's just a flesh wound. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But yeah, I'll never forget it because it literally fucked his finger and his hand and everything. Parents didn't even give a shit. Like they gave no fucks, They just growing up in a country town, we went to horrible places for birthday parties and whatever else, and no one gave a shit about it.
Yep.
Having said that, next time I go to Mildura, I'm going to Woodsy's Gem Shop again because it's still there. Everything's still the same. It hasn't changed. It really hasn't changed at all.
I want to go. I like shiny rock.
I think they have senior citizens meals on Sunday.
I'll stick to on Sunday. It'll be perfect for you, you boomer.
Wow. I mean, they do like a roast. I heard it's pretty good. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk. There's other birthday stories and stuff like that, but I mean, I don't know how many years I had birthdays at that place. It was horrible. It was either that. I did a lot of McDonald's birthdays as a kid as well. I suppose that's my love for ice cream cakes is still there from being a little tub and going to McDonald's. I actually went to a McDonald's birthday a couple of years ago, just before COVID. I had a nephew and he was having a McDonald's birthday, and I made the effort to travel up to Mildura again to attend that birthday party. And I sat in the corner and did colour-in competitions.
You didn't attend for your nephew; you attended for McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not sugarcoating that. I know that. Are you saying you don't want to go to a McDonald's birthday party?
As soon as my nephews go and get McDonald's birthday parties, I'm fucking going.
Yeah,
I had a good McDonald's birthday party when I was like 3, and it had it had Ronald McDonald there and like all the McDonald's characters. My mom had won it. It was
Quick, name all the McDonald's characters.
Purple Hamburglar, Birdie the Bird.
I like purple.
Ronald McDonald.
Purple's not purple. No.
I don't know his fucking name. The purple
Grimace.
thing.
It's Grimace.
I can't remember.
I want to follow
Fucking valid.
on the McDonald's birthday party thing. my ex-boyfriend at the age of 21 had his 21st at McDonald's. Yeah, we just sat there and colored in, and we got Happy Meals, and he wore a crown, and it was a whole thing. And then
I wore a crown. Yeah, it's true.
You wore a crown.
Yeah.
You would. Yeah,
I did think of. I did talk about this on stream, but I'm like, as a meme, go in there as a 40-year-old man, ask for the McDonald's birthday party, and then have it alone.
Alone with you.
Just sit there in the room, coloring by yourself.
I think that might get you put on the list.
Oh no! Oh. Google stop.
You in a room full of Googles.
We just realized you can take your Google with you on your 40th birthday party alone at McDonald's and have it sing happy birthday for you. If you ask it to sing your happy birthday,
That's the saddest thing.
It's really depressing for a whole minute there.
Oh, welcome to my life.
It came up with a picture of cake on it too, like, and there was confetti, and like Google put in all the effort with that. That was great.
Oh my god! Don't sing happy birthday. We get the episode for that.
So I was trying to shut her up.
Oh my god. Anyway, it's just that like I said, welcome to my brain. That's whatever. But it'd be good for the memes though. And they do make a good ice cream cake. I can vouch for that. They do hand you a box of ice cream cake like no other.
I have to go find a Frodo Frog ice cream cake for my girlfriend's birthday tomorrow because she specifically requested it.
So, fun fact, you can Uber Eats them from McDonald's.
No.
Wait, really?
That's the whole meme. How do you guys not know the meme?
And sometimes they give you a bag of puzzles.
I live in places that Uber don't exist.
Okay, all right. Last topic, because we are definitely out of time. But the joke was I was sitting at home being sad like I do. And then I opened up Uber Eats and I was looking at McDonald's because I was going to get some nugs. And then I saw that you can Uber Eats yourself a McDonald's ice cream birthday cake. And I thought, this is great for a sad sack like me. And then I was streaming Zelda, and I said to the guys, I said, when we hit, I think it was like 1,000 followers on something like that, we're going to celebrate by getting ourselves a birthday cake from McDonald's delivered on stream, all right? Fucking great. A couple months later, I hit the target. Well, here it is, guys. Here we go. Order myself an ice cream cake from McDonald's. The guy rocks up, hands it to me, and I'm like, this thing weighs nothing. I'm like, this is not right. I open it up. It's got a party pack in it. It's got a puzzle and some coloring pencils. That's it. That's all I got. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm opening it up on stream and everyone's just laughing at me. And I'm like, this is great content, but also, what the fuck? So then I ring them on stream, dox myself, but who cares at this point, you know? And then I'm like, hey, I don't know what happened, but I ordered a party cake and I got this. And she's like, oh, they sent you the wrong thing. I'm like, yeah, I just want to understand. I kind of assumed that if I ordered food, I'd at least get food. Like, you can't eat, there's not even an option to order a party pack. Who the fuck thought that that's what I ordered and put that in a fucking Uber? Anyway, she's like, yeah, they gave you the wrong thing. I'm like, yeah, no shit. That's the fucking shit. So then I ended up just getting a refund. I gave up on it at that point. And then we did a charity stream and I did it again. And this time they actually delivered me my ice cream cake from McDonald's. It was great. But yeah, it's I don't even know. I don't know who looks at the screen and goes, this person obviously only ordered a pack of pencils and a puzzle, puts it in an Uber Eats bag and hands it to a guy and sends it out. Who does that? Who does that?
When I was working at my friend's work and helping her there, we've had Uber drivers that would come back with the stuff they were supposed to deliver like an hour later and be like, oh yeah, we forgot to give this to these people, but here, you can have it back.
I don't think they had an ice cream cake sitting in their Uber Eats bag. I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. But yeah, that's the meme of the ice cream cake. If you ever see guys like Antos and them come in, they're like, haha, ice cream cake. It's like, yeah, that's what they're referring to. They're referring to the time that I went to celebrate with stream and all I got was a puzzle and a very awkward conversation with a poor lady at McDonald's. But yeah, there you go. So if you're looking for the lazy option, Frog, you could probably check on Uber Eats and see if you can order yourself an ice cream cake from McDonald's.
Yeah, I might have to try that. Yeah.
And if they send you a puzzle, oh my god, just like I don't know what to do. Whew, imagine the opportunities. Let me call them.
I was like, hey, I'm gonna dox myself, but here, can you call up my Uber
I'll
Eats?
call him and I'll be like, again?
Motherfucker, again?
Once is a mistake, twice is a habit.
Oh, that still boggles the mind. Boggles. Anyway, I think we're at time. I don't know about you, Frog, but I'm no longer quadruple parked.
Yeah, I'm literally just finishing the last mouthful of my quad park.
Thanks for listening, though, people that are actually listening. And hey, Belgium, we see you. We see you. Keep listening. We see you. We're coming. We're coming to Belgium Fest 2022. We're gonna drink your beer and eat your chocolate. That's as much as Google told us about. But we did learn today that Belgium is a country.
My dad used to go there for work.
Wait, you didn't know Belgium was a country?
Work trip, and he used to bring back some of the best fucking chocolate I've ever had. Plus, he's also always used to say that, like, if you ever go there, the beer is so fucking cheap and so fucking good.
Yeah, I had a friend bring me back Belgian beer once, and it's the whole thing. And actually, I actually read it when I googled it as well. It's like every style of Belgian beer comes with their own glass profile for the best drinking. If you're thinking that much about beer, anyway.
I'm just a slut for Belgian chocolate. Anyway, continue.
We'll save the Belgium talk till next week.
Yeah, we'll save that for Belgium Fest.
We'll have an entire
I don't know if that's a real thing.
Belgium.
Anyway, if you are listening to this on your preferred platform, we are now on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on Amazon Music, we're on Acast, and a heap of other ones. I'm also in the process of getting them up on the Zombies Love Bacon YouTube channel if you prefer to listen to your content there. Make sure you do give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, whatever platform does for you. We will be having a little reviewing comments and stuff on show. So as soon as we do start getting some comments, we'll answer them live here, including reviews and stuff like that as well. Negative, positive, whatever you want to do, even if it's just a funny limerick, we'll read it out on the show. Why not?
Tell us the worst Zoom call you've ever had.
Yes, or birthday party,
or dildo party.
Oh,
the best dildo party
when you celebrate your dildo's birthday? It's all the questions, all the hard-hitting topics.
Do you buy a Macca's birthday party and just fill the room with dildos? These are all questions.
These are questions that need to get answered. But before we run away, obviously you can find myself, Zombies LV Bacon, pretty much everywhere. But everyone can give themselves a bit of a plug. Let's start with Shelby.
Hi. You can find me at Shelby_ on Twitter, or you can find me at Shelby _ Shell Bunny _ on Twitter, or you can find me at Shell Bunny _ at Twitch. I stream every Thursday. I've been keeping at it, so 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
You got there.
I did it.
There. Well done. Let's go, Jelly.
Oh no! All right, you can find me on Twitter at MissJelly _ I still hate the person that stole Miss Jelly. I'm after you. I want the underscore gone.
Is that a threat?
We've had two people admit to being criminals on this podcast.
Yeah. This is is there something we can say to not get this in the court of law? It's all hearsay.
I can't say the words. Too hard.
All right, Frog.
Hi, I'm Frog. You can catch me posting pictures of my ass on Twitter at frog _R6, or you could catch me shooting people in a very sweaty manner on Twitch TV, frog _R6. Again, I don't play much R6, but it's still in every single one of my tags. But I'm trying to make that I'm playing more R6. But,
yeah. And he's sweaty. That's why they call him the amphibian.
I'm very, very sweaty.
Yeah, so there we also have a ZLB podcast on Twitter as well. If you want to just follow that to get your podcast news, that will be the best place to hear when stuff goes live. But generally speaking, Monday morning, we'll get it out there so that when you start your working week, you can listen to us and go, God damn, they sound like they're having fun on a Friday, and I can't wait till Friday gets around. So, but I think we covered a lot of topics today. A fun little game that I want to play just before we call it a night is I want to go around the room and just say, what do we call this podcast, this episode? What is the name of this episode? I want to call it Jelly versus Google. That would be my suggestion. But Shelby, what would you call this episode?
The birthday cake scam, because we talked about scams and then not getting a birthday cake.
Okay, the birthday cake scam. Jelly?
COVID birthday parties.
Okay, all right. And Frog's muted. He muted himself. He's gone. All right, he's
Sorry,
dead.
I'm back. What? Sorry,
What would you call this episode? What's the name of this episode?
Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording.
I'd say just title it Dildo Party. Honestly,
There you go. Dildo party. The metrics
Yeah.
on that are going to go through the
say
roof.
something like way worse if he didn't think we were recording.
Maybe.
All right, and that's the end of our podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you again next week. Hey, yeah, it'd be cool. See you later. Bye.
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 Bye.